This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Casa 0101 Theater for the opening of Eastside Heartbeats.
I remember those crazy days when we're dancing in the streets. And I remember those summer nights when the music lit up the sky. And I remember cruising on rides down the boulevard, riding low in our Chevys and riding high on the charts. Take me back to the east side. Take me back to my town. Take me back to those golden days and that golden sound. Take me back to the east side, on the poor side of town. Take me back to the place I love, on the east side sound. Singing in the park, people gathered and cheered us on. That's where we got our start. But when it finally happened for us, it all felt so unreal. Now that we hit the big time, this is how we feel. Take me back to the east side. Take me back to my town. Take me back to those golden days and that golden sound. Take me back to the east side, on the poor side of town. Take me back to the place I love, to the east side sound.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Tom Waldman, the writer of Eastside Heartbeats.
So why did you decide to write this play anyway?
About 3 years ago, I had done a book called Land of a Thousand Dances, Chicano Rock and Roll from Southern California. Tons of great stories. None greater than the story of Cannibal and the Headhunters opening for the Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl in 1965. And even when I was incorporating that story into a book, I thought, you know, that could be something more. I could build something around that. And this being Southern California, my first thought was, well, it's a film. But then I realized, why not make a musical out of it? I love theater, and it started from there. I wrote the script, but I didn't have a musician and a composer. And I got to know James Holvey, who wrote a couple great songs in the 60s for the Buckinghams. He was a guest on my TV show, Rock and Roll Stories. We hit it off. I said, I've got this script. I showed it to him. We actually met at Dupar's in Studio City, which is such a cliche because it's where everybody goes to do screenplays. And from there, we built a whole musical. And here we are.
What do you look for in your casting?
In casting, I look for energy. I look for innovation. When people come and do a song, can they do it a little differently? Do they have flair and charm? I mean, charm is an undervalued component of what it takes to make it in entertainment. The Beatles had tremendous charm. If you have charm, that's something you can't fake. And I look for that. And obviously people can read their lines and dance a little bit, and we have all that in the show.
Great. I really like the music. I love the acting, and I love the dancing. I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, the dancing is wonderful. The music, James Holvey grew up in the 60s. I mean, literally as an artist grew up in the 60s. So he knows that sound. And I wasn't sure when I'd written the script what kind of sound I wanted. I felt that it should be true to the period. And he was one of those who helped create that period. And now he's brought his talents to this musical that we're very excited about. You know, there's very few musicals about Los Angeles, almost none. New York has West Side Story, Chicago has Chicago. We really don't have musicals about Los Angeles. This is also an LA story. It takes place right in East LA, Boyle Heights. And so it's new terrain. And it's also a story, almost our entire cast are actors of color. So in those two ways, it's a very different kind of musical. But with all the success that Hamilton's having in New York, this is the new wave, and we're part of that.
Once again, I really enjoyed the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashley Marcus. I'm KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
David Reyes. I'm a composer and songwriter for Eastside Heartbeats and also a producer for Brown Fist Productions. We put the Eastside Heartbeats on the stage.
what made you decide to put this piece together?
Oh, a lot of stuff. A lot of history here. As you can see with my collection that's being displayed, I started collecting many years ago, and I realized that there's a story here. Along with Tom Waldman, we wrote the book Land of a Thousand Dances, and then that led into this. So a lot of stuff's been going on for a while.
What do you look for in your casting for musicians?
That they can play on the beat, they can keep the time, you know, and these young kids here, the bass player, the drummer, and the guitar player are very good, and they listen, you know what I mean, to instruction, but they lay down the beat. That's what I like. That's important for a play.
Yeah, what kind of musical style would you call this?
I would say like retro 60s style, you know, 65 in particular. We really took this 1963, 65, really listened to that era to see what was going on, what built up to 1965.
You know, when I ask people, musical directors, how they cast their musicians, a lot of people say they just hire people they know.
Well, you know, that usually is the case, but in this case, you know, I really wanted to make sure that the rhythm was always there. It didn't waver. And when you listen closely, you can hear the drummer and the bass player in particular. They're locked in, and that's the key. You know, it's nice to hire your friends, but it's always cool to have a perspective where you can hear other musicians play. Many times, your friends are used to you, and they're used to you, how you're doing things. With new musicians, perhaps you will learn something from them, and that's the beauty of it. The beauty of music is always to learn and to listen and to really lock in. That's what I call lock in. When I say lock in, I mean the bass and the drum in particular. They have to be right on it.
Yo, musically, the original pieces I found quite enjoyable. Actually, I found them quite catchy tunes.
Yes, they are very catchy tunes. I agree with you. You know, some of the songs have been really good. In fact, we just produced a CD for this play. It's selections from the Eastside Heartbeats musical, and we put on some of the better songs that are in the play.
Where can we get that CD if we want to get it?
Well, right now you can get it here at Casa 0101 Theater in Boyle Heights. And also, I believe by next week, you'll be able to get it online under Eastside Heartbeats.
Thank you once again for being on the show.
No problem. Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashley Marcus. I'm a KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Christian Barola, the bass player for the Eastside Heartbeats musical. I'm the bass player. I've been playing for around 12 years now, 12, 13 years. I've basically been at this studying music for a long time. I'm currently a college student right now, and that's where I'm at.
When did you start studying music?
Really, it was back in 1999 when I started taking piano lessons. That's where it really all started. But then eventually I picked up the guitar and then I switched over to bass. It must have been about 6 or 7.
Yeah. I hear that's a lot about musicians. They all start when they're like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Or 4
that's
or
really
3.
common. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that is amazing. Do you think you were born different from everyone else?
I think that in order for you to be a musician, you kind of have to have a certain mindset. And a lot of people discover it when they're younger. I mean, you can discover it when you're older. There's a lot of people who do discover when they're older. But I feel like when you discover it younger, it's a lot easier to hone it than it is when you do it when you're older. Although there's always exceptions. I mean, we see it all the time.
How does does a 6-year-old know that they want to play the piano or the bass? Does your parents just go, no, you're going to learn this instrument? Like someone just hands you an oboe. No, you're going to learn how to play the oboe.
Well, really, it really is. The parents do help. I mean, obviously, they're the ones who encourage everything. But I think ultimately it's up to the individual. And a lot of times, like, you'll know. Like when you see kids drawing or something like that, they'll have a passion for it, and that passion continues to grow. You'll continue to see that passion grow through the musician as well.
I hear a lot of musicians have social problems. They're really not that socially skilled. Since they were 5, they practice for 2 to 4 hours a day. When they get older, they still have to practice every day, and they have to compose, so they're alone for like 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah, that's pretty much the life. But when I was younger, I didn't spend that much time practicing as I probably should have, but it is a part of that life. You do spend a lot of time woodshedding and composing, and I also do some production work as well. So like I'll work on records and stuff like that, and I don't know if you know anything about mixing records, but they can take hours and hours and hours, days and stuff like that. And that's all time that you're spending alone in the studio with the speakers, just checking everything, making sure that everything's right.
And also, if you're really talented, you become a music director, and now you got to find people to play with, and it's like most people just play with their friends because they have to trust them, but you don't have to socialize it because you're alone all the time.
Yeah, that can be really difficult because I have some projects that I want to get started, and I'm having trouble finding people to do that. So because like I don't really spend a whole lot of time with other people. I mean, I found people, and I'm working. I mean, obviously, I'm not completely disconnected from the social world, but I'm looking for people, and I'm continually looking, so yeah.
Okay. Well, I really loved your performance. The musicians were fantastic. Again, I really loved the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Kenneth Lopez. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I've been performing since I was a little kid. I've been playing piano since I was 4. My dad's a band director, so music kind of like, inspired me mostly, but then I started acting in high school, loved it. I was in a musical, and I was like, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Went to school in New York, went to school here, just got out of school, and now, things are happening here in LA. I like it. It's looking sunny. I played Jimmy Ramirez in Eastside Heartbeats. Jimmy's a kid, he's just a kid who wants a future, he wants to be successful. And but he has his father who gets in the way a little bit, and that's what the play's about. That's the struggle, success and family.
I loved your performance. I liked your singing. I loved your acting, and I loved your dancing in particular.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's I've been doing it for a while, so it's a blessing. I've been blessed. I have a talent, and I want to share it with the world.
I've spoken to a lot of actors who actually start very young, and I'm always fascinated by the question, do you think you were born differently from everyone else, or did you have to go through a lot of intensive training to become this way?
I started learning music at a very young age, and because of that, it influenced me in a really specific way. And I just, I heard musicals when I was young, and I didn't know what they were, and my dad's love for music and my mom's love for music inspired me, I think, and I think maybe you are born a little bit differently, but it's really how you're raised and it's how you're brought up, I think.
One last question about the theme, the racial theme, about a person changing their name to actually make it a little bigger.
Right.
What's your take on that?
I think that's a big deal. Me personally, I would never want to change my name. My last name's Lopez, and like if you look at me, you see that I'm like some sort of like ethnically like Latino, but I could also play white, and I could also play different ethnicities, So I don't know. I think I'm very proud of my culture, and I would never want to change my name. So that's me personally.
Well, once again, I love your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for this interview.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Marco Infante. I was born in Peru, but I grew up in Florida. I lived in New York for 2 years when I graduated my BFA acting in college at Florida State, and I've been living in LA for the last 8 years. I play Mario, one of the Heartbeats. I think he's the bad boy of the group. I think he's the tough one. He's the older brother, kind of like the muscle of the group. he kind of looks out for Jimmy as well as the other guys, as the other band members.
I like to say I loved your guys' acting, and I especially love your dancing. I thought you guys were fantastic dancers.
Oh, thank you so much. We've been rehearsing for over a month on this revival, and they upped the dancing a little bit more from the last production. So it's been great. I'm glad you liked it. You got to come again.
What's your take on this musical?
I think it's a great musical. I feel like it's an untold story that hasn't been told yet. It's the first musical that I know about Latino band members who have this dream, who want to make it in the music business, but have all these obstacles that they have to overcome. You know. But overall, I think it's a great story. It's an awesome story.
Yeah. Once again, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Jesse Maldonado, how are you? Born and raised here in Los Angeles, California. SAG-AFTRA, equity performer, stage and film and television. It's my love, it's my art. You may have seen me on Up All Night for season 1 with Christina Applegate and Maya Rudolph. The Office, Dexter, Gridiron Gang with Sean Penn. And now back to the theater, which I love and need. Grease, West Side Story, Sweet Charity, the love of my life. My character is Andy. I'm a little older than Andy, and I'm lucky enough and blessed enough to get to play him. As a Los Angeles resident my whole life, who's been doing this career for about 15, 20 years, as a child, I relate to Andy, his art heart, his drive, his love, and being a Latino man who looks like a Latino man, having to come up with those conclusions that this is who I am and this is what I need to do, and have that fight and that drive, which Andy of the Eastside Heartbeats, which is based on one of our characters, Cannibal and the Headhunters, I believe it's Robert, I have that drive, and Andy has that drive. And to bring it back on stage and open up everyone's eyes and young artists to that drive and that love and that passion, it's what I'm meant to do. It's a blessing.
So basically, what do you think about the scene where they wouldn't change the names?
You know, some of that is still happening in this entertainment industry to this day. I'm one of the Latinos who can play Persian, who can play Russian, who can play American. I feel that it needs to be addressed because we are a big part of this community in this entertainment industry. It's in Los Angeles, the ciudad de Los Angeles, and I know a lot of Latinos and a lot of other ethnicities struggle with this today because it is our life, it is our career. For me, it's my love and my art first, and I know my career will come with that.
Once again, I loved your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for doing this for us.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Matthew Ramos. I grew up in East LA. I went to Don Bosco Technical Institute in Rosemead. I went to Cal State Fullerton for college. Studied abroad in Barcelona. Lived a little bit in New York for about a year and a half, and then in Nicaragua as well for about 8 months. And came back from Nicaragua. Decided that I wanted to act and sing and dance. Started taking classes. Auditioned for Eastside Heartbeats. Got the role. And now I'm doing the revival. I play Ronnie, the youngest member of the Eastside Heartbeats. Ronnie is probably the shyer member of the group, but he's also I wouldn't say the smarter one, but the one who wants the information about the group. He wants to know what's going on, how the record's doing. He's very grounded in that way. He wants to know what his future is with the Heartbeats and whether it's going to be with them or whether it's not.
What's your take on this musical?
My take on this musical, I think it's fantastic that we're doing a musical about East LA. I mean, we get people all the time coming out, they're leaving the musical and just talking about how we're telling the story of their life, something that they never would think would happen. So that's, I think the music's great. I think our acting, our dancing is really strong, and we're doing a great service to the community.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Tell all your listeners to come visit us. Eastside Heartbeats, playing until May 29th.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
I love it already. My name is Gabriel Gonzalez, and I play Carlos Ramirez in the production of Eastside Heartbeats. I've been around for a long time. I do film, recordings, TV, commercials, whatever the case may be, a little bit of everything. I played Carlos Ramirez, the father of the protagonist, Jimmy Ramirez. I really like Jimmy Ramirez. I think he embodies a lot of what the new generations of Latinos here in the United States. Carlos Ramirez is immigrant. Jimmy Ramirez would be like the first generation Mexican American.
Yeah, and what do you think about this play?
Well, I think it's a very important piece. I think that it's something that has been a long time coming. It is a grassroots effort. It is something that has provided an opportunity for new talent to step forward and be able to showcase.
Well, I really liked your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with
Diana Castellon. I'm a Marine veteran. I've been acting for like 12 years. I'm from Chicago originally, and I moved to LA to pursue my dream as an actress. I played the mom, Sonia. I love that she's very smart. She's very into what her kids are doing, and I also love the fact that she sees both sides of the story. She supports what the father has to say, but she also sees the side that Jimmy wants, to pursue his dream as a singer. So I love that. I respect that about her.
And what's your take on the play, the musical?
I think it's very inspiring. I could relate to it because, I come from a Latino family, and it's hard work, determination, and I know what it's like to have parents that are very strict and want the best for you. So I believe in the story.
Well, I really liked your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Angel Galvan. I'm a 16-year-old performing arts student from Hermosa, Cortinas, and this is my first show in the professional world. I played Lydia Ramirez. She's a really strong character, and I feel like she'll do anything to be there for her brother, and that's really what she's here for in the story, is to really stand up to her dad and support her brother's dream. I believe that the show is a great way to bring arts into the community, and it's also a great way to tell the story of these great performers that were in East LA, and to bring it to Boyle Heights is just great.
I like the singing. I really liked your acting, and I love the dancing. I thought everyone was fantastic dancers.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed the show.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for being on the show. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm with?
I'm Jordan Charles. I played the role of Hal Fisher in Eastside Heartbeats. Predominantly born and raised in Canada. Essentially came to the U.S. to pursue, performing arts. This show, I think, is the most important show to come out of this area because it's so ingrained with the East LA community. And I'm so happy that so many people are able to contribute to it in this fashion to bring light to a very important time in the music scene in LA at that time. I play Hal Fisher, who's the producer / pseudo manager of the Eastside Heartbeats. A little bit of a maverick, but the boys end up kind of setting them straight morally by the end.
Well, I loved your performance. I loved actually the performance in general, and also I loved the dancing. I thought everyone's dancing was fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's so many people working hard, especially the ensemble. Sometimes the untrained eye may not see exactly how much work goes into the actual performance. So I think it's really good that that type of acknowledgement is out there. So many people have made that comment. So it shows that the hard work has paid off to really put on a good performance for the audience.
So what's your take on music in East LA?
I find a lot of the history of the music in LA, especially East LA, is very unheralded. So many great groups that came out during the time of Richie Valens, that era in the 60s, 70s, and they didn't really get enough publicity, I think. A lot of them had a few hits and they kind of washed away, and then music trends change so often that it's very, very difficult for people to really focus in on who was good for a prolonged period of time back then. So I think shows like this really highlight, a lot of the music that came out of that era, this genre, and I hope maybe it creates more exposure for a lot of the groups that came out during that time.
Well, again, I love the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Bernardita Nazar. I am from Santiago, Chile. I came here 3 years ago to study musical theater. I graduated a year ago, and this is my first professional production after graduation, Eastside Heartbeats. I am Teresa. It's the girlfriend of the record producer that gives the Heartbeats their first chance to break through in the music industry during 1965 East LA. She is a powerful, independent, progressive, educated woman, and she fights for what she thinks is right. And she's Mexican American, and she thinks that we have the right to preserve our culture and to be respectful to it, and we don't have to play the game of America and fit in whatever the standards that they're putting on. And we think that we have to fight to keep our names, to keep our music, to keep our culture. And that's why she's so strong. She wants the culture of Mexicans to be strong and to preserve, to not merge into the American, even though they're living here. You know what I mean?
Well, Ricky Valens did change his name, though, and again, I wouldn't fault that for him.
No, it wasn't his fault at all. It was his manager, and it was the only way, that's the only reason why we know who he is till this day. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why we don't know about Cannibal and the Headhunters. That is the group that Eastside Heartbeats is based on. That is that the prejudice, they couldn't go over the prejudice of that time. So it's just a lesson that we need to learn, you know.
Well, I really like the performance. I love the acting. I like the singing. But I really love the dancing. I thought you guys were fantastic dancers.
Thank you so much. Yeah, everyone is super strong. All of the ensemble members are dancers. Everyone has experience dancing, and the choreographies are energetic. They're fun, and they're full. Yeah, they're really agile. So yeah, thank you for coming. I'm glad you liked it.
Okay. Well, thank you once again for being on the show.
Well, thank you for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Jamal Bakari. I was originally born in Chicago, Illinois, and I perform a lot with the Congo Square Theater in Chicago. I do opera, I do musical theater, I do movies. I'm doing the biopic of Nat King Cole that's coming out later on this year. And I do tons of everything. Larry, and I also played Eddie Mitchell. Oh, they're opposite. They're opposite characters. Like one, wishes that he was as young as Jimmy, because in his heyday he used to dance and sing and do all these really, really crazy things that Jimmy is doing now. And so he's teaching Jimmy to become a connoisseur of his era right now. And with Larry he's already in the scene, and he doesn't really take it as serious as Eddie did back in his time, but it's contemplative of the time period that he is in. So, yeah.
What's your take on this play?
I love it. I think that it's a story that needs to be told for Latin American people, and also I think that it's very important to talk about dreams. We all have dreams that other people may not see, and so for Jimmy to continue his dream, regardless of his father saying anything or regardless of whatever outside people are saying anything, he wants that dream to grow, and he would do everything that he can to make it grow. And I think that is a very, very great story to be told. Most definitely.
Great. I love your performance. I loved your singing. I loved your dancing. I loved your acting. I thought you're fantastic.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to do the second run of this show. It really has. It's an amazing show, amazing production. Yeah.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Oh, Tallene Shriek. I actually grew up dancing at Focus Dance Center in Irvine, and I went to college at Boston College, studied theater, was in dance, and then I decided to pursue it professionally, and so I moved back to LA, and I've been doing some stuff here in Pasadena at A Noise Within, at the Orpheum. I just had a performance there, and now this is my next gig, and it's so much fun. I'm so honored to be a part of the show.
What's your take on this play?
I think it's just a really relatable, inspirational story. I think everyone who comes to see it sees a little bit of their family or their life, whether it's dreams that they gave up on because of people telling them that they couldn't do what they wanted to do, or music that they listened to when they were young. All different age groups can relate to it, which is really beautiful. And I don't know, it's such a fun show. It's inspiring and it's catchy music, great dancing. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm with...
April Sheets from Van Nuys, California. Grew up in Ogden, Utah. Went to AMDA, American Musical Dramatic Academy, and just performing out here in LA. I was one of the ensembles. I was the bride. I was the fangirl. Numerous characters.
Okay, what's your take on this play?
It's an amazing play, beautiful story. It's about dreams coming true and doing whatever it takes to make those happen, and just keep pushing forward and having your family support you no matter what, and just keep doing what you love to do.
I really love the dancing. I enjoyed the music. I love the acting, and I really love the dancing.
I love the dancing. I love everything. It's so much energy, so much fun, and you get to the music is just so lively that you get to be a part of it, and you want the audience to be a part of it and join you, and it's just love. The dancing is love, is what it is. So it's great.
Okay. Well, once again, I really enjoyed the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Andrew Joseph Perez. I am a Los Angeles actor from Sacramento originally. Been working at Sacred Fools a lot. I'm a company member over there, and also at the Porters of Hell's Gate. Do mostly regional theater, and found Casa 0101 with this show, Eastside Heartbeats. I play the male ensemble track, so I'm the groom for the La Bamba dance. I play one of the guys at the Whiskey A Go Go. A couple other various characters throughout the show.
I really enjoyed this performance. I like the singing, I love the acting, and I love the dancing. That was fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a blast doing this show. It's been very fun to get to kind of stretch with a few different characters, playing about 4 or 5 different roles and adding in the dances and the music. And it's also just wonderful to get to do a show with all of the Latino culture and all of the diversity in the cast. It's been really energetic, and it's really breathed kind of a new life into a universe that needs a little bit more of this kind of thing.
Yeah, what's your take on this play?
What I love about Eastside Heartbeats is how much of the 1960s Latino musical culture is embedded in it. The fact that the Eastside Heartbeats themselves are based on real people, the fact that everybody we reference are real people, myself getting to play Huggy Boy, who was this incredible radio personality. His backstory, if you don't know it, is just incredible to listen to, how he wound up doing what he did. The fact that we were able to incorporate all of these characters and all of these real revolutionaries in their branches of music and the industry into this musical genre, and bring it to Boyle Heights right now, when we're riding on the tails of the revolution that is Hamilton and this kind of insurgence of diversity into musical theater. I think it's really important that we're doing work like this, especially in Los Angeles, where we do find ourselves fighting against an uphill battle with diversity, and so this is a wonderful opportunity to get to do a show in this vein.
Yeah. Once again, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Eastside Heartbeats will be playing at Casa 0101 Theater from May 5th to the 29th. For more information, go to www.casa0101.org.